Hello everybody, it's Philip from VFW 1402 and we're going to talk about our discussion this week for Project 3. In our discussion we talked about how to load images up for our views. And I have multiple views inside of my application. I've got scroll views, image views, regular views. I even have a scrollable view, which is what you're looking at here, that allows me to do a brief slideshow on the start screen. But just like we learned in class, we can load up a view with a simple for loop and then add them to our individual control. So as we can see here, I am loading up all of my images from the logic.source files array. I'm just creating a new image view, and the image view will load the image with the relevant file, and I will set the image width and height as necessary, and then I'll set the file name to be what it needs to be. And then I'll add that to the scroll view, and then I'll add that to the window. And what that looks like, if we open it up here, is this right here. As we can see, all of these images on the bottom where it's underneath local images below, this is what is loaded from the source images folder right here. All of those get loaded up. And you'll notice that they load up into a 4x column. So regardless of the orientation that we're in, it's going to be 4x. So let me go ahead and show you that. We'll switch orientation, and as you can see, the images got bigger, so we can view them a little bit better on the screen. And that's still using the same load function even when the orientation changes. You'll also note that the layout is the same. We still have the pixel margin on the side, and it still looks just as good. And so the cool thing behind that is we still load it with that 4. The other cool thing about this is it also does support opening up new windows from Flickr. These images up here at the top are all loaded up from Flickr. So if I view, say, this image, that is from Flickr. And I also do have the multi-views, so I'll just hold down Option inside of the iPhone simulator, and I can zoom out, I can zoom in, I can scroll it around. If I zoom in, I can go up and down, and those are added as individual scrolls views instead of scrollable views. If I change orientation here, and I load up a landscape picture from Flickr, we'll see that it is the full width, like the requirement wants. The height is not the same because we're keeping the aspect ratio, but I can also zoom in and zoom out and scroll around. One of the harder things to get done for me was actually how to add the Flickr images in, because I had to load the Flickr images up first. And so what I actually had to do is, while the application window was being shown, the splash window here, I had to load the Flickr images in the background. And once the Flickr images were loaded, I was then able to show the load button, and then we can view all the images that we see here. So that was the difficulty that we had. But in all, I think it turned out well, and I think it's cool that I have the local images as well as the remote images. So that's what we wanted to talk about today. We learned about how to add the images to the actual window, and there we go. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.